Good afternoon, Sarah and Clary. Thank you for joining me today. How are you? That's good. Now, thank you for reaching out about Ruby and how she's settling in and any strategies that I can help implement for Ruby so that she can continue to feel confident and comfortable with her learning. Now, you've identified that text-to-speech and speech-to-text functions have worked well for Ruby and increased her independence in class and learning. Whilst we can continue to use this, I do have other ideas in mind, and I was hoping if we could go through them and I can share them with you today. Now, before we start, Ruby is settling in well, and she's an excellent student to have in class. She's focused, she's capable, and her independence in her learning is to be commended. And for her to recognize that what works for her and what doesn't work for her is a real reflection of her strengths as a learner and her ability to self-reflect and identify. And I would like to commend her on this. Um, Now, the concerns that you have from the enrollment meeting, I understand that she does face issues when decoding with reading and writing. So I have strategies that will hopefully help with that. Um, and to also make sure she's not too reliant on this text to speech, speech to text functions. She's received excellent grades so far, and we're hoping to continue that and, if not, even improve on that for Ruby. And this is all addressed in the Disability Standards for Education 2005, so that students with these difficulties have the right and same access to education as their peers do. I also understand Ruby's anxieties around socialization and how she left a strong group of friends behind in Melbourne, and her nervousness about making new friends here and with like-minded peers. Um, and we'll really hit upon this social aspect. So the first teaching practice that I was looking to implement for Ruby and for the class, because it is great, is reciprocal teaching. Now, this has four main components, which are summarizing, a self-review, questioning, clarifying, and then predicting. So this asks the student to kind of become the expert on what they're reading as well. But of course, it's guided by the teacher in the first practice, and then this can be implemented with group reading. Um, I will be asking students to check their understanding as they go, specifically ask questions about what they're reading. If Ruby comes upon any unfamiliar words, that we touch on it immediately, and that she can then go on to identify this and understand the meaning. I also want her to be able to pinpoint the main ideas, and this can be as simple as highlighting and things like that, writing down dot points as she goes. And then what we want to be able to do is for Ruby to make inferences, to make predictions about what this text could lead to, what it's about. And this greater interaction will hopefully lessen her anxiety when it comes to reading. And she won't be doing it alone, it will be with groups. Um, and it's when children learn to complete these tasks with guidance, they then feel a sense of accomplishment within themselves. This will strengthen Ruby's comprehension skills and decoding skills. But it will also help her ability to speak up in class, make connections with others, enter into debates healthily, and this will all be improved. Now, this leads to my second teaching strategy. When we come across those new words that we identify, those unfamiliar words, I will be providing the class with a list of words each week on new vocabulary or vocabulary we are focusing on. And this will take the form of a word journal because I really want to. Ruby's already established her knowledge of phonology and morphology, but we will continue to build on this to help her with these more tricky, uncertain words and any other word she comes across, we can use this strategy. Um, Now, this will be incorporating repetition so that it will strengthen her memory. And by doing this, each week we will go through a word journal, we will list out the words, and we will then chunk them phonolo phonologically and then write the definition so that she can return to this and refer back to it come assessment time, come any in class checking and reflecting, and so that it's strengthening her memory. And finally, I want to allow for more socialization in the classroom, and this will take the form of think, pair, share strategy. So this involves pairing students up, having them discuss the topic, and then having them share with the group. So, first of all, Ruby will come to her own conclusions about this. Then I will pair the students up at my discretion so I can always partner Ruby at the start with more like-minded students and hopefully help build those connections and that social aspect of school, which is so important. And then to share with the class, which will also strengthen her confidence, her ability in her own work and her social skills. Um, and it's really important that while she is speaking, listening is also occurring, and for someone else to listen to her and validate her ideas, and for her to try and justify them, which will all help Ruby succeed better. Now, I know I've talked a lot, but I hope that those strategies that I've just mentioned um, will be useful to Ruby. And this is an ongoing conversation, so we can keep coming back. And if it's not working, we can figure out new strategies. But if it is working, we can continue to build upon them and do what's best for Ruby and continue to help her strengthen her skills and make her feel as part of the class as we can. If there were any questions, no? Okay. Thank you, Sarah and Clary. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to continuing teaching Ruby. Thank you.